myself inside this grand old house, I felt sad. It was as if the search for home was the point, and now that I had acquired it and the chase was over, there were no more branches to put in the fire. In the meanwhile, I had to get my new banana tree home from Shoreditch on a bus and a train to my crumbling apartment block on the hill. It was growing in a pot, about 1 foot high. The flower seller, with long, luscious fake eyelashes, told me she reckoned it wanted to live a more humid life. It had been a cold winter in the UK so far, and we agreed we were also yearning for a more humid life. While I was on the train to Highbury and Islington, I added a few more details to my unreal estate. Despite the egg-shaped fireplace, my major house was obviously situated in a hot climate, near a lake or the sea. A life without swimming every day was not a life I wanted. It was hard to admit this to myself, but the ocean and the lake were more important to me than the house. In fact, I would be content to live in a humble wooden cabin on the edge of an ocean or a lake. But somehow I looked down on myself for not having a bigger dream. It seemed that acquiring a house was not the same thing as acquiring a home, and connected to home was a question I swatted away every time it landed too near me. Who else was living with me in the grand old house with the pomegranate tree? Was I alone with the melancholy fountain for company? No. There was definitely someone else there with me, perhaps even cooling their feet in that fountain. Who was this person? A phantom. My plan for the banana tree was to add it to the garden I had made on 3 shelves in my bathroom. I knew from the succulents enjoying their displaced life in North London that it would like the warm steam from the shower. My apartment block had still not been restored, 7 years after I moved into it, and the grey communal corridors were in an even worse state of disrepair. Like love, they badly needed restoring. The banana plant didn't care about the state of the building. If anything, it seemed ecstatic to move in, and began to show off, unfurling its wide, veined leaves. My daughters became curious about the attention I was bestowing upon this plant. They both agreed that I was obsessed with the banana tree because my youngest daughter was going to be leaving home for university soon. That tree, my youngest, age 18, told me, was my 3rd child. Its job was to replace her when she left home. In the months of its growing, she would ask, "How is your new child doing?" And she would point to the tree. I would soon be living alone. If I had made another sort of life since I separated from her father, it seemed that soon, age 59, I would be required to make another life all over again. I did not want to think about this, so I began to pack up a few things to take to my new writing shed. 2. It was literally an oasis built among palms, ferns, and tall bamboo. I couldn't believe my eyes or my luck. The garden surrounding my new writing shed, which was built on decking, resembled a tropical rainforest. Really, I should have gifted my banana tree to this garden, but as my daughters had suggested, it had become part of the family. My shed landlord gave me the key to the garden side entrance, so I did not need to interrupt him in the main house. The day I arrived, he placed a hyacinth inside the shed. Its perfume was overwhelming and welcoming in equal measure. Perhaps its perfume was even violent. I unpacked 3 Russian glasses with silver handles for coffee, a cafetiere, 1 jar of coffee, 100% Arabica, 2 tangerines, a bottle of ruby port from Porto, left over from Christmas, 2 bottles of sparkling water, almond biscuits from Italy, 3 teaspoons, my laptop, and 2 books. And an adapter, of course, this time a coil with 4 sockets. My shed landlord, who was born in New Zealand, had planted the garden around my new shed with flair, imagination, maybe even nostalgia. I thought he had created something.